Back when I was younger, I would go to sleep late, right after the school week. And, of course, I would wake up late on the weekend. I would go downstairs, and basically no one was there. They had already drank their coffee, eaten their breakfast, and had missed all the fun family stuff. Now that I fixed my sleep, I'm able to enjoy my mornings, have better workouts, hit more PRs, and focus way better on my work. Watch this video, and I will fix your sleep for the rest of your life. Sleep is one of those things, like fitness, that you will have on you no matter what happens in your life. If you move countries, if you get rich, if you get poor, all the ultra rich people still have to go and work out themselves. They still have to fix their own sleep. But if you start from now, you'll have it forever. 8 hours of sleep. That's what all the studies say, right? But the average person has a sleep efficiency of 85 to 90%. So you need to be in bed for 8.5 to 9.5 hours to get that amount of sleep. So however long you're in bed, remove 10 to 15% to see how long you're actually sleeping. Next point. 6 hours of consistent sleep is much better than 8 hours of random sleep. Imagine your body, right? You don't know when you're gonna wake up and when you're gonna go to sleep if your sleep schedule is random. So you don't know when to put all the sleep cycles. So what happens is you're not able to complete all the parts of sleep, and so you don't feel rested when you wake up. So the first pillar of sleep, the most important thing, is your sleep consistency. When you go to sleep and when you wake up. So here's your first action step. Choose a time that you can go to sleep and a time that you can wake up that you can do every day, that you can literally start doing today, like a really easy time. You have to wake up and sleep at the same time, even on weekends. You cannot be recovering your sleep because that'll actually mess it up. You're actually moving your sleep ahead, right? What you actually need to be doing is anchor the wake up time. So always have the exact same wake up time, no matter if you slept early or slept late or slept on time. What this will do, if you slept late, your body will force you to go to sleep earlier so that you keep the sleep schedule the same. If you slept early and you still have the same wake up time, that's fine because sleeping a bit earlier is still okay. Set an alarm for 40 minutes before sleep, and this is when you should start getting ready for sleep, right? So for me that's 9 p.m. when I go to sleep, so I set the alarm for 8:20. And then set an alarm for your wake up time, for me that's 6. Make sure all of these alarms are set to every day, otherwise they're just gonna ring today and then you'll never see them again. You'll know when you have achieved sleep consistency when you start waking up naturally, like 10 to 30 minutes before your alarm. Now I almost never hear my alarm go off because I always get up before it, and this is what you want to happen. An alarm disrupts your sleep. It's, obviously you wake up at a random time, so you just want to be waking up naturally. That's the best. The second pillar of sleep is light. Whatever the light is outside, we need your body to know that. So either you go outside or you replicate the same conditions in your room. What you should do before you go to bed: dim the lights 1 to 2 hours before, and set an alarm for this right now. This is your action step. Set an alarm 1 to 2 hours before bed. Set it to 1 hour for now because that's easier. And I even got to the point that I bought some sunglasses that are like dark and orange so that I can make it even dimmer, right? The second thing to do before sleep is to set your phone on night shift. This is your next action step, is set your phone, go to the night shift, or it's called night mode or something like that, and set the schedule from sunset to sunrise, and this will just make sure it does it automatically so you don't have to do it. And then the other thing is, I think if you're on Android, you can set it to extra dim. So before you go to sleep, we need to manage the light. Obviously, we need to turn off the lights, but we also need you to optimally have blackout curtains, but you probably don't have them, which is fine. So close your normal curtains and get an eye mask. My eye mask looks like this. It's a bit special, it doesn't press onto my eyes, there's kind of a gap. But just buy any eye mask you want. And what to do when you wake up: go in the sun as soon as possible for at least 5 minutes. I prefer to combine this with a walk. Obviously, if the sun isn't up yet, go when it rises. But this is when your eyes really need the blue light from the sun. Yes, the sun has blue light, and it needs to be super bright. That's why we're going in the sun. Just turning on the lights in your room is way dimmer than the sun. The third pillar of sleep is temperature. Your body needs to drop its temperature by about 1 degree to sleep. And so, we need to make this process easier for it. What we're gonna do is drop the room temperature, right? Use the AC. If you don't have AC, just use a fan at least. And drop the temperature to about 18 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure how much that is in Fahrenheit. I'll probably put something on the screen. And that'll make it easier for your body to drop the temperature. And also, the other thing we're gonna do is take a warm shower, or like warm bath, whatever, 60 minutes to 90 minutes before you, 30 minutes to 90 minutes before you go to sleep. And this is kind of the opposite, right? It's a bit of a paradox. Like, why are we taking a warm shower? What it's gonna do is your internal body temperature needs to cool down, okay? Not the external. So your internal body temperature is like your organs, your heart, whatever. And so what'll happen is you take the warm shower and your body is like, okay, we need to cool down. So it takes the blood that's like in the organs and stuff and pumps it to the outside so that it can cool, right? So it can be like against the air. And so it'll cool down. And so what you get is a lower internal body temperature, making it easier to fall asleep. Those are the 3 biggest pillars you have for sleep. And if you do just those, you're gonna get some insane results for how good you feel, how well you function, how well you train, all this different stuff. But here's some external factors you can also add in, which aren't these like main things, but will 100% help you out. The first one is eat your last meal 1 to 3 hours before bed. This can be obviously like further away, but 3 hours is kind of the optimal time. I would say like 1 hour to 2 hours, like if you're bulking. If you're cutting, like it's easier, you can just eat like 2 to 3 hours, but make sure you don't have the last meal right before you go to sleep, because digestion is the most intensive task for your body to do. It makes your temperature higher, it increases your heart rate, all this different stuff which you don't want happening during your sleep, so make sure it happens when you're not sleeping. Another thing you can do is have some complex carbs before you go to sleep. This helps increase melatonin. These are things like oats, brown rice, potatoes, sweet potatoes, whole wheat, beans and lentils, and quinoa. The last external factor we have is mouth taping. I left this towards the end of the video because it helped me quite a lot, but I know you're serious because you watched so much of this video. So, nose breathing literally makes a molecule that's called nitric oxide that improves your blood circulation, like the oxygen in your blood and how well it goes to everything. And your nose is a filter for like cleaning the air, right? If it goes through your mouth, what happens is you might get a sore throat, you might get a dry throat, and of course the air quality will be lower if it's going through your throat versus if it's going through your nose. Also, if you breathe through your nose, you have way less snoring, because when you breathe in through your mouth, like I breathe in, right? Like you can hear that a little bit, obviously if you control it, right? But what happens is when you breathe in, everything kind of constricts and this part of your throat touches, right? I'm gonna try to put a diagram here, but when you breathe through your nose, that doesn't happen. So you'll either snore less or you won't snore at all. And yet another bonus for mouth taping or nose breathing is that you're gonna have better teeth, because your saliva is the number one thing that goes like against bacteria, right? If your mouth is open and then it's dry, you'll probably have more cavities, you'll probably have more like gum disease and bad breath. All of this is proven, by the way. So, how do you actually do this? You take something like this. This is called surgical silk tape. I'm gonna put it on the screen. This is also called skin tape or something like that. And so, what you do, I'm gonna put a better video of this on the screen. But essentially, you take the silk tape, right? You take just a little bit of the edge off, just a little strip like this, and then you cut it with your hands. You tear it like this, like vertically, like the opposite way of where the roll is going. And let me just cut it. And then you get a strip like this. Just take it, try to not touch the sticky side so you can keep it sticky, and then just like that. That's literally it. So this will just encourage nose breathing, right? And this is more than enough to keep you nose breathing without absolutely suffocating yourself, you know what I mean? So this is just safe, right? And you can obviously tear it off if you need to. And it's really easy. If you need to reload this when you're sleeping, if it comes off or something. To make the outro, so see you bro, keep overloading.